Well, what about Shepard? She's a spacer, lived aboard starships most of her life.
Military service runs in the family. Both her parents were in the Navy.
She proved herself during the Blitz, held off enemy forces on the ground until reinforcements arrived.
She's the only reason Elysium is still standing.
We can't question her courage.
Humanity needs a hero, and Shepard's the best we've got.
I'll make the call.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot, acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun. Hitting the relay in 3, 2, 1. Thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1500K.
1500 is good. Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead. So that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story. But only an idiot believes the official story.
That's enough. Your soldiers act like it.
Sorry, Commander.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance Brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
He sounds angry. Something must have gone wrong with the mission.
Captain always sounds like that when he's talking to me.
Can't possibly imagine why.
Hello, and welcome to Mass Effect, starring Katrina Kat Shepard. Let's introduce Kat here. Kat was born in 2154 to a naval family. Her mother and father had served in the U.S. Navy on one of the very few American space warships built before the UN Treaty of 2149 had stopped the construction by individual nations of new space warships, restricting the militarization of space to the newly formed Systems Alliance. Hannah and Thomas Shepard, Kat's parents, were enthusiastic about the chance to serve on a true starship with Mass Effect drives. As much as they may have loved serving in the U.S. Navy, their fascination with space travel was even greater. Hannah Shepard was part of the engineering team on the SSV Benares in 2153 when an accident occurred involving the drive core, which leaked Element 0 into the engineering compartment. While not enough to cause ill effects to the crew, Hannah's unborn child, who was only a few weeks old at the time, internalized some of that EZO, which later allowed her to develop biotic abilities. These biotic abilities did not manifest themselves, however, until Kat was exposed to raw Element 0 a second time while visiting a colony world with her mother in 2168. A transport ship crashed near the colony, spewing EZO into the atmosphere. Although Kat quickly became aware of her newly manifest biotic talents, her mother tried to keep Kat's abilities secret, lest Kat be taken away. That worked for 3 years until Kat was 17, when she was finally detected and fitted with L3 implants. On her birthday, April 11th, 2172, Kat joined the Alliance Navy, where she would receive both biotic and combat training. She had always excelled in school and had some of the highest qualifying scores of any applicant to the Alliance Academy ever. She enrolled in the Academy shortly after joining the Alliance, where she then received most of her basic biotic and tactical training. Kat graduated from the Academy at the top of her class in 2176. Following her graduation, Kat traveled to the human colony of Elysium for a short holiday. While there, however, the colony was attacked by a large force of pirates from the Terminus systems. After most of the small local defense force was destroyed, Kat single-handedly rallied the few remaining security forces, along with a number of civilian volunteers, to hold off invading ground forces until reinforcements from the Alliance could arrive. For her heroism, Kat was awarded the Star of Terra. Following the action on Elysium, Kat was invited to participate in the Special Operations Interplanetary Combatives Academy, the End School, in Rio de Janeiro. There, she achieved the highest ranking available, the coveted N7 designation. In 2183, the current year, at the very young age of 29, Kat was assigned as first officer of the new Alliance warship, the Normandy, the most advanced warship of its time. Kat has never failed at anything in her life. She's always been the best in whatever endeavor she undertook. She has also been a leader in whatever group she joined, though mostly cliques formed around her rather than her going out and joining somebody else's clique. Many people have viewed Kat as a queen bee, though they would never say that aloud lest they suffer the consequences. Having grown up in the Navy and excelling at everything she does, Kat has developed rather inflexible ideas about proper conduct. She is a stickler for following rules and regulations and does not tolerate any deviance from the military code of conduct. While her skills in combat are widely acknowledged and admired, many subordinates resent the strict discipline she imposes. She is a romantic when it comes to understanding how the universe works. There is black and there is white. There is no gray. An action is either heroic or cowardly, good or evil, and Kat always tries to choose the heroic course. If anything, her very successes have made her rather naive about how the real world works. Instead, she tries to impose her idealistic views onto a very messy reality. For this playthrough, what that means is that Kat is going to be a terror to her crew, but magnanimous to her foes. This is actually the opposite of what many people think about when constructing a Paragade or Renegon character. In the usual scenario, Shepard is ruthless with foes but charitable to friends. Kat is going to start out without friends because she's a terror to her crew. She will demand an impossible standard of behavior from her subordinates, while trying to convince bad people to change their ways. Over the course of the trilogy, however, that will change. Kat is going to find herself irresistibly attracted to Kaidan Alenko over here. There's Kaidan. And even though it is a violation of regulations, become involved in an affair with him. She will then choose to save Kaidan on Vermeer, even though the needs of the mission would seem to dictate going to help Ashley. This total violation of the rules against fraternization will begin to fill her with guilt and self-doubt. They will also begin to cause her to look on the foibles of others more charitably. Later on, during the suicide mission, Kat will witness such morally questionable characters, such as an assassin and a thief, give their lives to stop the threat from the collectors. By Mass Effect 3, then, Kat will have undergone a profound transformation. She will stop demanding perfection from her subordinates and come to accept that maybe the world is not divided into just black and white, heroic and cowardly, that sometimes questionable actions may be needed to achieve a greater good, and that less than perfect people can nevertheless display acts of heroism. In other words, Kat will mellow out. At the start of our journey, however, we should think of Kat as Little Miss Perfect, Little Miss Holier Than Thou. And as you can see, this is a New Game Plus. We're not starting out at level 1 here. Instead, Kat is level 57. She's a Vanguard here. I'm not going to stick with Vanguard. I'm going to have play an Adept in Mass Effect 2 and then a Sentinel in Mass Effect 3. But throughout, she's always going to be a biotic. That's going to be a constant in her profile. The reason I picked Vanguard here, I was thinking, either an Adept or a Sentinel would be generally I would prefer, except I wanted to have sniper rifles rather than taking as my bonus talent assault rifle. I mean, I guess pistols are okay, but I'm not really into pistols, quite frankly. And so rather than going pistol, sniper rifle, I wanted also a decent substitute for an assault rifle, something that, I don't know, I just felt better about handling. And so I said, well, Vanguard can use shotguns, so I'll do that. We'll go with Vanguard. So that's why I picked Vanguard. So basically, I want to get up onto hills and snipe people occasionally. I mean, I just enjoy using a sniper rifle. But I also want a decent weapon besides a pistol. And so you can either go with the pistol and assault rifle, but no sniper rifle, or go with this Vanguard here and use a shotgun. So that's what I'm doing. As far as New Game Plus, a huge reason for doing New Game Plus is I don't want to invest points into Charm and Intimidate that could be invested into these other skills here. I don't really like the idea that, okay, I've done my Dale Carnegie thing, and now I know how to win friends and influence enemies, but I actually can't kill the bad guys. That doesn't make any sense for a soldier. But you can earn 4 free Charm and 4 free Intimidate points in every playthrough, and that's what we did. So in the first playthrough, Kat earned 4 free Charm points and 4 free Intimidate points, and then on the second playthrough, she earned another 4, and we'll earn another 4 of those on this playthrough as well. And the reason I want that, if you're going to invest in points yourself rather than invest here in this other stuff, it makes sense to just invest in one or the other, so that the other points, here's 8 points here that could be spent elsewhere. But I think that violates my idea of role-playing. I mean, you can play a Paragon character, you could play a Renegade character, but I don't like that idea. I don't like, you know, oh, just always Paragon, always Renegade. I think that as a role-playing rule, you should go with what fits the character, not whether it's red or blue. I don't think that that's the way to role play. I think the way to play is, okay, what would this character do in this particular situation? And maybe it requires a charm dialogue option, and maybe it requires an intimidate dialogue option. And I wanted to be able to do that. I wanted to have that kind of freedom to pick whatever dialogue option I think fits this particular character in whatever situation she finds herself in. So that's a huge reason why I want to do a New Game Plus here. Another advantage of doing a New Game Plus is, you can see we've got all this Spectre stuff. So we don't have to do any inventory management. We don't have to open up any crates. You can see she's got almost 9 million credits. She's full up on Omnigel, and she's got all the Spectre 10 weapons, you see, all the Spectre 10 weapons to hand out to her crew. She doesn't actually have much in the way of Savants, though. She's got 3 Savant 8s. Be nice to have Savant 10s, but they don't add that much. And I'm not sure what the Omnitool situation is right now. And the only thing I'm really lacking is a Colossus medium. I got this Colossus 7 medium here, you see, but it only offers 3 more damage reduction than the light armor, and it's got way less shields, but we'll remedy that situation fairly quickly by going out and doing Bring Down the Sky, and I'll get some Colossus 10 medium armor. But on the whole, I don't have to worry about inventory management. I don't have to open up any crates. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. I'm in a position to always be able to pick a charm or an intimidate option should I wish to. I don't have to worry about visiting stores and opening crates or anything like that. I've got everything I need, so we can spend our time focused in on just the gameplay and also on the story and her interactions with other characters in the story. This will not be a completionist playthrough. As in my other playthroughs, we're only going to focus in on those missions that help advance the story, that fit in with the story. And I'm going to do a little stuff off camera. I'm probably going to go get the Matriarch writings off camera so that when we get to Mass Effect 3 we can get Conrad's full dialogue. I'm not going to hit up every single investigate option. And I'm not going to talk to every single character necessarily. But I am going to talk to those characters that I feel can help develop and establish who Kat is, what her personality is like, you know, fill out who this person is, and choose those options that seem to bear on who she is. And we're going to do those missions that also contribute, like the Armstrong Nebula. That seems to fit in, quite frankly, with the story. If you're on either Vermeer or Pharos, you can hack into a Geth terminal that tells you about the Geth plans to invade the Armstrong Nebula, and that seems like, well, that seems to make like a logical place to go. If the Geth are going to be out in the Armstrong Nebula, maybe Maybe we'll find Saren there. Maybe we'll find more information on what they're doing out there that will help lead us to the conduit. So the Armstrong, the Geth Presence side mission actually does fit well with the story. A lot of the other stuff doesn't fit well with the story, and we're just going to avoid it. These episodes are going to be about 20 minutes long. I don't want them too short, because then, you know, you break up a mission into many smaller segments, but I don't want them too long, because then people can't just easily watch them in just one sitting. And I'm conflicted about what difficulty to play on. I mean, we're at level 57. Even Insanity is easy on level 57. The only problem is it takes forever to finish these fights. I mean, the enemies, you still kill them, but it just takes longer, and it's like, whatever. I mean, because basically they're going to spend all their time in the air floating about, not shooting at you. So, I mean, the longer you have to shoot at them, I mean, it's just kind of boring watching them floating around in the air while you shoot at them. So I'm not sure. I guess we could do it on Insanity, but I don't know. I was thinking hardcore. Except I hate the Mako. The Mako sucks. I was thinking on anything dealing with the Mako, we just stick it on casual, because the Mako stinks. The worst armored fighting vehicle ever produced. It's just awful. But I don't know what difficulty level to play at here. Another thing I should say about Hannah, you notice Hannah's a blonde, and she's got a ponytail, and she's got no scars. And the idea, I know it's a stereotype, but she's a little queen bee. And she's Little Miss Perfect here, and she's also a little bit naive. And I thought that ponytail would kind of convey that naive sorority girl kind of look. Sorry, anybody who's a member of sorority, but I'm just not impressed by the sorority women I have met. Sorry. But here she is, you know, blonde, ponytail, no scars. If she ever did get a scar in combat, she would just have it removed anyway. But there she is, Cat Shepard, Little Miss Holier Than Thou, Little Miss Perfect, Little Miss never failed at anything in her life. Although she's going to fail in following the rules when she just finds herself totally and completely irresistibly attracted to Kaidan over here. But that's enough for this episode. When we come back, we'll begin talking to people here on the Normandy, and then landing on Eden Prime, our ultimate destination. Until then, have a nice day.